Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video, and today we're going to do a character guide on Lann and Reynn. So I haven't done one on them yet, and they just came back here, so I figured now might be the time to do that. So in this video, we're going to take a look at their calls, their artifacts, and their spheres. I should probably get on their calls here, right? So for those of you unfamiliar with Lann and Reynn, they're really just an AoE magic damage dealer, and they carry 5 different elements in their kit. So they have a ton of different elements, which can be a good thing and also can be a bad thing. The big thing with them is they get better the more enemies they are. So like, I think in 3 target fights, they're actually going to put up really darn good damage. But, and I think they're going to be good in 2 target fights, but like in 1 target fights, they're actually going to be bad. Like, you just don't want to use them. So the bad part about this character is there's literally fights where they're basically unusable. So when thinking about if you're going to invest in them or not, you know, you want to go for somebody more like a Rinoa or a Penelo who can do a lot of damage in single target or AoE fights, right? But we'll see how they look in this video. Once again, I think I said on their banners, I don't know that I recommend you go all in on them or anything. When they first dropped, they were ridiculous because they were like, nobody could compete with the AoE damage they did back then. But we'll see how they're looking right now. So let's go ahead and look at their calls first. So their calls I don't think are anything that I would use. The 15 CP call here, this does do an instant break, which I guess is decent, but it doesn't really do any caller effect. And then it does have lightning and earth damage if you want that. And then the LD, basically it gives the caller overflow stolen up and then elemental weakness damage up. And it gets better based on how many enemies there are. But that's basically it. And then I guess it does do an imperil. It's basically an Omni Imperil. It imperils like 5 different elements, right? So it's like every element except for Dark and Holy. So it's darn near an all Imperil, right? It's pretty much, it's all the base normal elements, right? So everything but Dark and Holy will get imperiled there. So kind of crazy that they have all those elements, but yeah, their call isn't anything that I would ever use, right? Let's go ahead and look at their kit here. Right here. And I'm going to make them look good because I did give them an Ultima weapon. And we do have Luna, Freya, and Penelo, so I'm going to try to make them look as good as I possibly can. Now, I don't have their BT, but I will talk about their BT during the showcase, right? So, artifacts, here's the thing. I don't even have artifacts for them yet. That shows you how much I've actually used them. Their artifacts right now are not farmable because all the characters on the current event, which is just a lost chapter, I don't think there's a co-op for it. So, we don't have farmable artifacts, but you can do... They are boosted artifact tokens, I believe, right now. So I'll eventually get their artifacts. But what you want is you want Attack 108 and Mirage Keeper boost 2-star. The Mirage Keeper boosted, that's their C50 passive, and it does increase all of their stats. So you definitely want those two. And Attack and Brave damage are really, really important on them. So we'll keep that in mind when we go into the spheres here. So the way Lann and Reynn work, they're a character that doesn't Brave gain very much. So they really depend on their Brave hits to get their Brave. So this is why attack, magic attack, and brave damage are really what you want to focus on here. I did put some magic attack spheres down just because I don't have a lot of characters that are using those. So this was a character I could throw down. So Aerith is a really good magic attack up. I believe her full sphere is like a 15% magic attack up. So that's a very good one. And you just have to have full HP. So it's a pretty easy requirement, right? I have Clouded Darkness here. Just anytime you attack or attack a broken target, you just build up some more magic attack. Nothing too crazy, but it's something you can use. You could do any of those brave damage, brave damage and attack combo, so it's Jack and Rydia. And actually Cisne's got one too. I always forget to talk about Cisne, but I believe Cisne also has one of those that's good to use. So any of those 3 are fine. You could use Rydia because with all the elements, they are carrying weakness damage all the time. So that being said, on the D slot, once again, pick any of those millions of D slots I always talk about that have an attack up. But specifically, this is where you could utilize Luna Freya because they are a weakness damage character, right? So party attack up is always good there. Alright, so let's go ahead, hop into the showcase. They're a fairly easy character to use. So this shouldn't be that hard at all. And the thing with them, there's really just 2 buffs you want to make sure you upkeep. And they start with all of their buffs at quest start, so you literally can just start hitting, like, spam attacks, right? Just whatever you want. So we'll just kind of go through all their attacks and kind of explain what they all do, right? Okay, sorry, I'm just getting over a little bit of a cold here. Alright, so we do have them in a 3-enemy fight, which this is Jesse's fight. I might have to put a Raijin on, because if they get turns, I think they're going to be pretty deadly, because they're meant to be delayed, right? Let me see. Yeah, let's just put Raijin on, like, immediately. Just to make sure we don't die during the showcase, right? Ah, they broke in the wrong order. Dang it. Okay. Anyways. All right, so let's go ahead. And so the buffs that we want to look at here, yeah, you can see there's loaded with buffs. So Mirage S and Mirage L, those are the two buffs you want to keep up. If you have both of those buffs up, they get the plus versions of their attacks. So you want to have that up. Now, if they're ever not up, the plus versions of their 15 and 35 will go to the normal versions, and the normal version will like upkeep that, it'll reapply it. But you can also use the AA to set it up, and then the LD also will put it back on. So you have a lot of options to upkeep those. So let's do Thunder and Geo Crush, and once again, these guys are AoE specialists. Let's see what the damage looks like here. Okay, 700k AoE. I mean, with 3 targets, that is a lot of damage overall they're dishing out. So that was pretty decent. So this one here was a Thunder and Earth damaging attack that did instantly break all enemies. And then it gives her that Mirage S buff if I was using the base version, right? And that Mirage S buff, which they start with, it's a speed up and Brave damage resist up. So a little bit of tankiness there, which is good. And then you get an extra bonus to all stats if you also have the L buff up. So that's the other reason why you want to keep them both up, is you get extra stats for having them both there, right? But the big thing is you get the plus versions of your skills. Let's go ahead and let's quick prayer them so that I can get them a few turns in a row. And then I probably will LD to get them heavy prayer. If they have room for it, they might be able to buff slots. They had a lot of buffs. Let's see. I think we did get them both on. Let me double check here. Oh, no, we did not. We did not get heavy prayer. Yeah, they got too many buffs on. That's okay, though. Let's go ahead and sure, we'll do it. Yeah, we do want to, well, we don't need to ramp up to an FR. I was going to say we could ramp up, but there's no FR to show off here. So, yeah, we don't really have to worry about that. Sure, let's go ahead and just pop this. And then we will get Luna Freya's BT effect up. And then we're going to get Penelo's BT effect up. So we'll have, like, everything to make them look as good as we possibly can here. All right, we'll pop that. Once again, the reason why I don't think I recommend this character for most people is because, like, there aren't a ton of 3 enemy fights out there, because that's really where they shine. So it's just the way their kit is designed. They're not a character you're going to be using as often as you would like if you're going to full invest them, right? If you like them and want to build them for fun, though, definitely do it. Alright, so let's go ahead and start with some buffs here. We'll just do that with Penelo. And then, yeah, we'll just put Penelo's BT up. Sure, let's just put Penelo's BT up. Alright, and then we'll get Lann and Reynn like 3 more turns, and that's pretty much all we're going to have to show for them, right? Alright, so we'll let this go through. So what we'll do next is we will do the 35 and then probably just hop into like the LD, and then hopefully we'll get into an EX soon. Their EX is a ways away. We'll probably have to do another cycle to get into it, which is fine. Alright, so let's do Blizzard and Water Plus. So once again, this will be AoE. Let's see what the damage looks like. Okay, yeah, a mil AoE. I mean, so that's like 3 mil in one attack, right? But that's on a 3 enemy fight. But that's really good damage to 3 enemies. So when you're talking like in this type of situation, yeah, they're competing for like best damage in the game, I think. When you're just hitting 3 mil basically on your 35 button press, that's pretty darn good. And then let's go ahead and sure, I think we'll pop the LD. Oh, let me go through Blizzard and Water really quick. So that was the Water Ice attack. The other thing that's significant about them having the plus versions is it does full HP damage to all the enemies, whereas if it's not the plus version, it does split damage. Which means the difference between full and split damage is in that instance there, right? Our raw damage number was 1 million, so it did 1 million to all 3. That's the full damage, right? If it was not the plus version and we did 1 million, it would have split that up and did like 333,000 to each one. So huge damage difference, right? So the full HP damage is like one of their benefits. So that's why you really want the plus versions. That also did inflict the speed down on the enemies. And then that's the one that would refresh Mirage L if it was not the plus version. Mirage L is just an attack, max, brave, and defense ups, right? So just pretty basic there. All right, so what I'm going to do is we're going to pop the LD, and this is going to refresh everything. And it's going to be really good. Now, here's the thing. The LD executes twice as long as there are 2 or more enemies. So they're really screaming at you. You need to be in a multi-enemy fight for these guys to work. So let's go ahead and pop the LD. Let's see how much damage we get on this. Let's see. And this is going to pop twice, right? So there's 1. Here comes 2. Okay. Yeah, 1.3 mil. I mean, that's good. Like, full AoE damage, right? I remember when Lann and Reynn first dropped with their BT, like, they were the nuke specialists. Like, they were the unit that was cheesing fights. It's just, in today's game, there's just so much other damage options, right? Alright, and we do got the EX up, so we can show that. So, sure, let's pop the EX. This is Sonic Fangs. Okay, let's see what the damage is. Yeah, I mean, so they're hitting, like, basically 1 mil AoE on every button they press, which in a 3-target fight, that's very good damage, right? So, the EX, it does break all enemies. It's a fire attack. And then you get a free ability use on your next turn. Oh, we got to go back to the LD. Sorry, I didn't finish with the LD. Back on the LD, we got Mega Mirage Summon. That's the only buff I didn't talk about. Mega Mirage Summon basically has attack, overflow, and elemental weakness damage up, and then HP damage up. And they get stronger based on how many enemies there are. So the more enemies, the stronger that buff is, right? And then on the EX that we just did there, we do get a free ability use on our next turn. She is going to get, or sorry, they are going to get a buff called Stack Enchant, and it's also going to put Stack Resist down. So they just, basically it's an Omni Apparel for all those elements except Light and Dark. So Stack Enchant is basically enchanting for the 5 main elements, and then Stack Resist down is imperiling for those 5 main elements, right? So that comes from the EX, so that's definitely a good button to press. We'll go through, we'll just attack with Luna Freya here. But basically, other than that, that's it. We just got to go through the BT, which their BT isn't anything crazy. It's going to be a big AoE, attack, just like any other BT, but basically it's just party buffs. So it's just Brave damage up, HP damage limit up, and Overflow Stolen up. But once again, it gets better when there's more enemies. And the thing is the numbers are really good in a 3-target fight, but in a 2-target fight, I would say their damage and their buffs kind of just become average. In a 1-target fight, they're unusable. Like, they're actually going to be a detriment to the team. So, once again, if you really love Lann and Reynn and you're going to bring them to every 3-target fight, sure, go for it. But they're just a character that, even if they look really good in, like, this fight, they're not a character you're going to get to use a ton and get the most out of them. And, like, in a 2-target fight, I would rather just do, like, Penelo, Jack Arla, and Renoa, right? Like, they're going to be a lot better. And Lann and Reynn really don't offer anything to the team other than, like, Elemental and Peril, but they don't enchant the party. They just enchant themselves. So, anyways, guys, you can let me know what you think of Lann and Reynn. But, yeah, if you like them, go ahead and run them. But you just got to use them in those 3-target fights, right? So, anyways, thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.